So first of all, welcome everybody. This is our first time meeting. I'm Aly, and this is going to be an hour-long gentle class. We're going to start out today a little bit differently. We're going to start out in child's pose. So on hands and knees to start, you can always pad under your knees if you like, and then we just take the knees a little bit wider, bring big toes to touch, and we'll ease hips down towards the heels, forehead down towards the mat, and you can always place your head on a block if the ground seems far away, or you can overlap your forearms. You bring your forehead to your forearms if this is too much on the shoulders right now. And just observe your body, this moment in time, this shape, feeling all the sensations of this shape, all the points where your body touches another surface, whether that's the ground, another body part, and just feeling that contact, that connection. Noticing perhaps everything else, the space around you, air, the openness on the back body. Just observing your breath. Allowing each inhale to deepen, each exhale to deepen. And as we flow through the different shapes, know that if something doesn't feel right in your body, you do not have to do it. You can always adapt and modify. You might find a different pose entirely. You might just take a rest. This is your practice. And you should just listen to your body the whole time. Each different shape. As we move, as we settle into the shape, observe. And let it just be a free observation without any further thoughts, any other attachments. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then we're going to start to add our movement, and we'll keep this general shape. We're just going to lift up slightly, and then we're going to begin to walk both hands over towards the right. We'll just step the hands over, and then we'll fold over to the right side, softening in. And see if you can just let your left hip be heavy. And then we'll slowly walk both hands back through center. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the left, and again, we'll fold in. Once you get to that edge, just soften in, observe, feel everything. And then we'll walk both hands back through center. We'll pause. And then next inhale, we're going to begin to slowly rise up. We'll come up through a tabletop. We'll line everything up. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, and a few rounds of cat and cow here as you inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your chest. Tailbone, exhaling to round. And observing the movement, feeling the whole track of the movement up and down the spine. 2 different shapes. Each time just exploring maybe a little bit more range of motion. Maybe exploring other movements, sometimes side to side. Listening to the breath. Let's go one more cycle. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. Long spine, just gazing down. Now this is just an optional way of transitioning into our next shape. So we might just scoot the feet to one side, or alternatively, we could kind of hook the ankles, walk the hands back, and land ourselves in a seat. So you can decide if that would feel good on the knees. If it won't, then we just come our regular way. Once we're in our seat, we can always add a little bit of extra height if you want to bring your sitting bones up onto a blanket. And then just find a pause here. Sukhasana, easy pose. Take a moment, find your spine centering evenly side to side, lifting up through the crown of your head. And then we're going to keep this general shape, and we're just going to add some shoulder circles, inhaling, reaching shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhaling, rolling the shoulders down. Any amount of movement, just feeling the whole movement all the way around the shoulder joint. Let's go one more circle. And then let's just reverse it out. Take just a few forward circles. We don't have to do very many of these. Just rounding the shoulders, drawing the shoulders forwards and down. And then we'll just do one more of those, and then we're going to let that go. And then just find somewhere in between those two shapes with the shoulders. Allow your shoulders to settle. And then from here, we'll drop the chin down towards the chest. And we're just going to begin to rock the head a little side to side. You can start small. You can grow the movement over time if that feels right. If you want to make full neck circles, that's always an option. Or we just explore side to side. Next time, right ear comes over towards the right shoulder. Maybe we pause. And then we can crawl the left fingertips out, extending out through the left fingertips. And then let's bring that left hand back in. We'll rock the chin down through center, over to the left, pausing. This time maybe crawling right, fingertips out, and just feel all that length along the right side of the neck. And then we'll walk the right hand back in, bring the chin back down through center. We'll lift chin back up parallel with the mat. And then we're going to switch out the cross of the legs. So just bring opposite, chin in front, and then resettle, finding a tall spine. And then we're going to bring the arms down by the sides. And with the next inhale, reach your arms around and up. As you exhale, rotate right. Think belly, ribs, and chest. We're going to let the hands come down. And then next inhale, we'll lift back up. We'll come back up through center. As you exhale, rotate left. And let's just find some flowing movement here. Inhaling to reach up. Exhaling to rotate. Lowering the hands down. Just mindful of the movement. Finding the connection to the breath. We'll go one more time, either side. And then let's unwind, come back through center. We'll reach up, maybe gaze up. And then let's bring the palms to touch. We'll lower the hands down through heart center. And let's connect here for a moment. If you have an intention you'd like to set for your practice, something you're working with, something to guide you that you'd like to bring into your life at this moment in time, take that now. And then let's just lower the hands down. And from here, we're going to transition back into tabletop. I invite you to try doing the reverse of what we did before. We can just come up and over the knees and then just uncross the legs, or you scoot the feet to the side and we just bring the legs around. These are just options, and that's a little bit of a different way from how we usually do it. Now from here, we're going to line up in tabletop again. You could have padding under the knees. We're going to step the right foot straight back, and we'll land on the right toes. And then we're just going to rock back and forth a few times on the ball of the right foot, extending out through the right heel. And then come to stillness. We're going to bend back into the right knee. We'll set that right leg down. We'll step the left foot straight back. We're going to lengthen out through the left heel. And then we can just find that gentle rocking. Feel the stretch back of the left leg. Stretch into the foot. And just keep your neck relaxed here, gazing down. We'll come to stillness. Now we're going to bend into the left knee, set the left knee down. And then from here, we're going to walk the hands back towards the legs, and we're going to rise up into a kneeling mountain. Again, you can have padding under your knees if at any point your knees bother you. Just add a little bit of cushioning. Arms down by the sides. We're going to find that tall spine. And next inhale, we'll reach the arms around and up. We'll bring palms to touch. Exhale, lower the hands down through heart center. And we'll just find a few flowing breaths like this, inhaling to sweep arms up, reaching wide, palms meet. Exhaling, draw back down. And just keep the connection to your breath. Feel the contact of the shins, the tops of the feet, down on the mat. The lightness, the lift, all the way from the ground up. We'll go one more cycle. We'll meet hands to heart center, pause here. And then we're going to open the arms wide out to a T with the palms facing in. And this is going to be a little bit of flowing movement here, a little bit of workout for the brain as well. So we're going to take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to cross the right arm under the left and give yourself a hug. As we inhale, we're going to open back out. And as we exhale, we'll cross left arm underneath the right. And again, we're going to do a hug. And then inhaling to open. Exhale, we'll cross right under left. Inhale to open. Exhale, we'll cross left under right. We're going to do this one more time. We'll inhale to open. Exhale to cross right under left. And we're going to pause here in our hug. Just maybe even crawling the hands a little back, and if it feels good, you can rock a little side to side. Just exploring different sensations. And then we'll come to stillness. We're going to open the arms wide. This time we'll scoop left arm underneath the right. Again, the hug, wrapping maybe the hands a little bit closer. Just feel that squeeze. And then if you like, you can just kind of find that little kind of twisting side to side motion. Bend the arms wide. And then from here, just lower your arms down by your sides. Take the hands back down to the mat. And we're going to line up in tabletop. Now from here, the left palm's going to stay planted. We're going to begin to reach the right arm up as we rotate right ribs reach up. And then as we exhale, let's scoop the right arm underneath the left. We're going to lower into our thread the needle, lowering right shoulder down, right ear. The left fingertips can either crawl forwards, or if you rather, you can take the left arm out to the side. We can scoot the left hand behind the low back. We can take a bind. So different options, whatever your body feels like this moment in time. And then we settle. We'll take 2 breaths here. Just feel the whole inhale and exhale. Then let's begin to walk that left hand back in. We'll plant the left palm down. Begin to slowly unwind. We'll reach right arm back up and then set the right hand down. We'll plant the right palm this time. Begin to rotate left, belly, ribs, and chest. Reach up. And then as you exhale, slowly threading that left arm underneath the right, slowly lowering down. And then once you're down, deciding if we want to crawl right fingertips forwards, if we want to take the right arm out to the side, scoot the right hand behind the low back, maybe even over to the opposite hip crease. Feeling that rotation in the spine. Then we release that back top arm. We'll place the right palm down on the mat. Press down to help lift yourself up. Unwind, reaching left arm up. And then we'll take the left hand down. Now from here, we're going to take the hands forwards, just about a palm's width distance. We're gonna tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now from here, we can walk the dog, bending one knee, straightening the opposite leg, going side to side. At any point, we can take a rest down in tabletop. We'll come to stillness. Just give that a moment to lengthen out. Feel this shape. And then put a deep bend into your knees. And this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to gaze towards the legs, walk the hands back towards the feet. Give yourself a generous bend in the knees. And we're just going to drape forwards over the thighs, crown of the head down. And then from here, let's just take an inhale, find a halfway lift. Slide your hands up your shins. We're gazing down towards the mat, long spine. Exhale, we'll soften back in. You can bend into the knees, steady down through the feet. And then next inhale, let's sweep the arms around and up. Take your time. Let's bring palms to touch. We'll lower the hands down through heart center. Steady down through both feet. And take an inhale, slowly sweep your arms around and up. As you exhale, fold in. We can soften into the knees, drape over the thighs, and then inhale to half lift. Exhale, we'll fold. We're going to plant the hands. Then from here, begin to walk the hands back out. We're going to walk it out to a plank. So we'll keep walking the hands out until we get torso parallel to the mat, and then shoulders are right over the wrists. We're going to make sure that our hips aren't sagging down. We're going to scoop belly button up and in. Knees could always tap down to the mat. We'll take one breath here. And then we'll tap the knees down. We're going to untuck the toes and shift forward, lower all the way down to the belly with control. Now from here, we'll walk the hands forwards. We're going to lift up onto our forearms for a Sphinx pose. So just make sure you've got some room. We'll line up elbows under the shoulders, palms down on the mat. Our hips are nice and even, tops of the feet down. And then to activate this, think about steadying down through your palms, your forearms, and just curling the chest forwards and up. Heeling up away from the mat. Make sure there's no tension in your neck. Let's find 2 more breaths here. And then we'll begin to lower back down. Take your time. Maybe overlap your palms here. Rest on one cheek or chin to center. And we'll bend into the knees. We're going to switch the feet side to side, windshield wiper. And then let's come to stillness. We're going to lengthen the legs out long. And then from here, we're going to slowly roll onto the left-hand side. We're going to roll onto the left edge of the body. You can always bring a blanket or something to put underneath your head, or we can just bend into that bottom arm and make a little pillow for the head that way. And then we're going to bend into the knees. So we're kind of in the fetal position here, stacked up, hips, knees, feet on our side. And then, so the right leg is on top, and we're going to just lift the right leg up a couple of inches. We're going to begin to reach the right thigh back in space till maybe that right thigh comes basically parallel with the hip. And we're going to reach that right heel behind. And then we can lengthen the right hand down. We're going to see if we can grab onto the right foot or the right ankle, or maybe you can hold on to your pants here, or we just extend the hand towards the foot. If we have the bind, maybe we just draw that right thigh back a little bit more. Maybe hug the right heel in a little bit more. Let your breath just guide you here. In and out. And then let's slowly draw the right knee forwards again. We'll set that right leg down. And then we'll slide both legs long again. Straighten out both legs. We'll roll back down onto the belly. And then slowly tipping our way onto the left side. Bending into the knees. Making that little pillow for the head. So everything is lined up here. We're on that right edge. And then we're going to just lift the left knee up a couple of inches. Reach the left thigh back in space. So that left knee is basically in line with the hip, and the left heel's behind. We're gonna reach left hand down. See if we can bind on, and know that one side might be different. There's often these little asymmetries, and we don't want to attach to that too much. Think about letting it just be what it'll be. If there's any difference, that's just your body this moment in time, and you work with it where it's at. No further commentary. Let's slowly reach the left knee forwards. We'll set the left leg down, and then we're going to just straighten out into both legs again. Roll back down onto the belly, and we'll pause and just let everything go heavy for a moment here. Feeling the whole front side of the body down on the mat. Maybe you feel if your hips feel even side to side, the feet, the shoulders. And then we're going to take the hands down alongside the low ribs. We're going to press down into the mat. We'll begin to rise up through our tabletop. And again, we're going to pause here. We'll take the hands to blocks. And we're going to take ourselves into a lunge here. So starting with the blocks under the palms, and then we're going to step the right foot in between the palms. This just gives us a little bit more space for the chest. We're going to line up that right knee over the ankle, and we're facing forwards here. And then just either keeping that back knee lowered, or we can tuck the left toes under and we can lift the left knee up. You can decide. You want to keep that knee lowered, or we're lifting up. We can lengthen out through that left heel, let the hips settle, and we're gazing forwards. Now we're going to add a twist here. The left palm will stay planted. We're going to begin to rotate right. You can always bring that right hand to the right leg. We're going to rotate right ribs up, and then we can reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, or you could keep that right hand to the right thigh. Work within your body here, this moment in time. Let's take the right hand back down to the block. Take your time. We're going to gaze forwards, and then from here, we'll take a big step up. Take an inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold in, and then let's inhale to sweep arms around and up. Exhale, the arms down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, we'll fold in. Remember, you can soften into the knees, and then we take an inhale and we lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll plant the hands, and this time we're going to step the right foot back. And then we have the option to lower the right knee down, or maybe we just keep that right knee lifted. So left knee right over the ankle, hips are facing forwards. We're going to let the hips settle. And then as much as we're letting the hips settle and we're getting a little bit heavier there, we're going to try to lighten up the weight in the palms, creating a little extra lift with the chest. Reaching crown of the head forwards, gazing forwards. Just take one more breath. And then we're going to take a big step up, right foot. Inhaling to half lift. Exhaling to fold in, and then we'll inhale to rise. Exhale the arms down. Now, from here, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to bring the hands to the hips. We'll steady down into the left foot. We're going to lift up onto the right toes, and we're just going to bring the right toes forwards a little bit. Keep that left leg strong and begin to just make some circles here. Kind of rolling out the toes, the ankle. It's going to work its way up into the hip. And then let's just pause, take those circles the opposite way. And then come to stillness. And we're going to step that right foot down. And then just for a moment, observe the difference in sensation, right foot to left. We're going to steady down through the right foot now. We'll lift up onto the left toes, take the left toes forwards, and we're going to make our circles with the left. I feel like this just helps build some steadiness and awareness in the feet and the ankles. Great for before we do a balance. We're going to go the opposite way. And then let's come to stillness, and we'll step that left foot down. Now from here, we're going to reach both arms around and up, and we'll just pause. So extended mountain pose. Steady down through your left foot. Begin to lift up onto your right toes. And then let's see if we can lift that right foot up any amount, maybe just an inch. Maybe we just let the toes get really light on the mat. We see if we can float up maybe a little bit more. You just listen to your body. Think strong left leg, think reaching up through the crown of the head, and just keep your gaze steady. And then let's set the right foot down. We'll let the hands come down for a minute. Just give the legs a little wiggle. And then we'll steady down through both feet again. We're gonna reach the arms up, creating that length, extended mountain. Steady down through your right foot. Lighten up your left toes. And then just very slowly, lifting that left foot up any amount. Strong right leg, gaze is steady, and we're not letting our mind wander off. We're not going off on any tangents. Not attached to any of those thoughts. And then let's just begin to lower the left foot down. We'll let the hands come down, give the legs a little swish. You can even just let the arms relax too. Give it a little swish if you like. And then we'll come to stillness. We're gonna keep our feet hips width distance apart, ground down through both feet. And we're gonna take a chair pose, but we're gonna add the arms. You have the option to just reach the arms straight out as well. So we'll take an inhale. As we exhale, we're gonna let the hips sink down and back, either pausing with arms straight out, or we can reach the arms up alongside the ears. Steady down evenly through both feet. Just let your hips settle. Think about keeping belly button engaged in, gazing forwards. Steady gaze, one more breath. And then let's fold in, let that go. Take an inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold, and then inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms around and up. Exhale the arms down. And from here, we'll bring the hands back to the hips. We're gonna keep the right hand to the hip. Inhale, reach the left arm up. And then let's lean in towards the right side. We're just gonna arc over, creating a long line all the way on that left side. You can even kind of poke that left hip out a little bit. And then we'll slowly come back up. We're gonna take the left hand back down to the hip, reach the right arm up. We'll lean in towards the left side, like a crescent moon. And then let's slowly come back up. We'll take that right hand to the hip. And now from here, we're gonna steady down through the left foot. We're gonna lighten up onto the right toes. We're gonna step it back to warrior one. So we're gonna step a big step back with that right foot. We'll plant the right foot down so the toes are angled up towards the top. Our hips are gonna face up towards the top, and we'll bend into that front knee any amount. Let the hips settle. Reach that right inner thigh in and back. And then we add the arms, reaching up any amount. And now when we're reaching the arms up, we're working towards bringing the arms up alongside the ears, but our arms, they can always be a little bit wider if that feels better as well. And we're gonna take one more breath here. And then we're gonna add some flowing movement. So we've got an inhale here. This is gonna be our length. As we exhale, we're gonna straighten into the left leg. We're gonna reach the elbows back. You can ball the hands up. And then we're gonna inhale to rebend, reach up. Exhale, we'll straighten. We're gonna ball up the hands, reach the elbows back. And we'll just do this 3 more times. And I think that was the last one. We're gonna land, we'll pause. And then from here, just a slight adjustment. So we've got the back foot sealed down right now, but we're gonna slowly roll up onto the ball of the right foot. We'll add a little bend in that right knee. So we've got our crescent lunge. If you wanna go for more sensation, you can always wiggle that right foot back a little bit. For less, we can wiggle it closer or take the feet a little bit wider. And then from here, we're gonna slowly begin to cross the right hand down outside of the left leg. We're gonna tee the left arm out to the side. Keep your gaze steady. If you're feeling very wobbly, just feet a little bit wider, stance a little bit shorter. Slowly, we're gonna begin to revolve the left ribs back, reach the left shoulder back. We can draw that left arm back any amount. Steady down through both feet. Only go so far as you're comfortable. We'll pause. And then we're gonna slowly, just as slowly as we came into it, come out of it. We'll bring the palms to touch. We're gonna gaze forwards, put a little bounce in that back foot. Big step up, let that go. Let the arms relax, take a little wiggle. And then we can bring the hands back to the hips. This time we're gonna steady into the right foot, lighten up the left foot, step the left foot back, warrior one, and then we adjust. Once we've stepped back, we can make any little adjustments to our pose. Make sure you feel steady here. Make sure we feel like we're getting a nice stretch, but something that we can hold and maintain for at least 3 or 4 breaths. And our hips are facing up towards the top. Think about reaching that right hip back, left hip forwards, belly button engaged in. And then last but not least, the arms. We'll take an inhale, exhale, straightening right leg, reaching the elbows back. Inhaling to rebend, exhaling to straighten. And just explore these 2 movements, the range of movement. Each time, settling into that warrior one as much as you can, as much as is right in the moment. 2 more times. And we rebend, settle. And then once we're feeling steady, think about firming your outer hips in. We've got the feet maybe about hips width distance apart. We're gonna lift up onto the ball of that left foot, letting the left heel lift, little bend in that left knee, gazing forwards. We're gonna slowly cross the left hand down outside of the right leg, take the right arm out to a T. And this gives us a little bit more steadiness in the pose. Just very slowly think about reaching your right ribs back, left ribs forwards, reaching that right arm back. Squeezing the outer hips in, belly button engaged in. And then slowly, as slowly as we came into it, we're gonna unwind. Bring the palms to touch, gazing forwards, little bounce in that back foot, big step up. Now let's take our full swish, just let the arms hang and go side to side. You can bend into one knee as you sway the opposite way. All right, let's slow it down. We'll come to stillness. And then from here, we're gonna turn to face the long edge of the mat. We're gonna bring our blocks with us and we'll go towards this plant wall over here. So blocks in front, and we're gonna step the feet out wide. Preparing for a little warrior two. So maybe as wide as your wrists if you were to tee your arms out to the side, but if that feels like it's too wide, then we bring the feet in a little bit. Feet are parallel to start. We'll take the hands to the hips, and let's start with the left side here. We'll lift up onto the left toes. We're gonna open up the left hip, starting from that hip crease, opening the left knee, so it's gonna point towards the mountains over here. We'll land that left heel down, and then planting that foot, letting the hip settle. Hips still open towards the long edge this time. Arms will tee out to the side. Beautiful. Finding our warrior two, gazing out over the front fingertips, steadying down through both feet. And then we're gonna begin to hinge over the left hip crease. We'll take left forearm to thigh. We're gonna reach the right arm up, and then we can extend the right arm alongside the ear, lengthening fingertips forwards. Feel both feet here. We're gonna ground down through the outer edge of that right foot, lengthen up through the right fingertips. And then next inhale, we'll rise. From here, let's straighten into the left leg. We'll flip the left palm up. We'll reach the left arm alongside the ear. And then let's tee both arms back out. We'll take the hands to the hips. We're gonna steer the left toes towards the long edge. Just make sure we got our feet parallel again. We'll lift up onto the right toes. We're gonna open up from that right hip, bringing the right knee to point towards the props, finding our alignment here, bending into that front knee, and teeing the arms out. So hips, torso open towards that long edge, and we're gazing right over the front fingertips. Strong back leg. Take one more breath. And then we're going to hinge over that right hip crease. Take right forearm to thigh, reach the left arm up, and then we'll extend the left fingertips forwards, left palm rotating down. And then next inhale, we slowly rise back up, teeing the arms out. This time we'll straighten into the right leg, flip the right palm up. We're going to reach the right arm up alongside the ear, reverse triangle. And then let's tee the arms back out. We'll take the hands to the hips. We're going to steer the right toes towards the long edge. And again, we'll just make sure we've still got our feet parallel. Of course, we can always reset. And then we're going to steady down through both feet. Create a nice tall spine, lifting up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, begin to fold forward, hinging and tipping right at the hips. We're going to pause at halfway, so we're gazing down towards the ground. And then from here, we'll take the hands down to either the mat or the blocks if the hands don't easily reach the mat. And then from here, if you'd like to fold in a little bit more, we can continue to tip over the hips, sending crown of the head down. But don't force anything in your body here. Listen to the sensations. We're going to start with pressing the feet down, straightening into the legs any amount, but if there needs to be a bend in the knees, keep that bend in the knees. Make sure your low back feels good. We're going to think about that length all the way up the spine, forwards through the crown of the head, and we're just tipping right over the hips. One more breath here. And then next inhale, we're going to find a halfway lift again with either the hands down on the mat or down on the blocks. From here, we're going to take the left hand, place it right underneath the face. If it's on a block, we're bringing the block along with us, whatever height works for the block. And then that left hand's going to stay planted. We're going to take the right hand to the hip, and we're going to begin to rotate the right ribs up, left ribs down, rotating any amount. And then if you feel comfortable reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, we can reach the right arm straight up, or we just keep the hand to the hip. Listen to your body. And then let's slowly return the right hand back down to the hip. We're going to unwind the twist. This is where we switch out the hands. The right palm will come down right beneath the face. Left hand will come to the hip. We're going to begin to take our twist. Steady down through the feet. Rotate left. Left ribs reach up. Right ribs drop down. And then only if it feels okay, we reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Creating length from the ground all the way up through the top fingertips. And then we'll take the left hand back down to the hip. We're going to unwind the twist. Take your time. Take the left hand down as well. Let's just pause for a moment. Steady down through both feet. We'll take the hands back up to the hips. You can always put a little bend into the knees, and we're going to slowly begin to rise up. Take your time. And then once we come up, you can walk, step, hop, heel toe, feet together, however you want to bring the legs back in. And then just a little wiggle here. We'll come back up to the top of the mat. Bring your blocks along with you. And then let's steady down through both feet, mountain pose. Take an inhale and reach up. Exhale to fold in. We're going to hinge right over the hips. Forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to fold, and we're going to plant the hands. We're going to step both feet back to a plank pose. Just briefly. Step one foot back, the other. We find that long spine. Belly button tucked in. Take one breath here. And then let's tap the knees down. Untuck the toes, and we're going to scoot the feet to one side and draw the legs out in front. We're going to find a seat. Starting with bound angle pose, we might sit up on our blanket again. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide. Wiggle the heels in any amount. Let your hips soften open. You can always place blocks right underneath the thighs for some support. And then take a moment to find your spine. Full spine, lifting all the way up through the crown of the head, softening shoulders down. And then we're going to keep this length. We'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're just going to hinge right over the hips, folding in, pausing at the edge, wherever you slow in that movement, and then just relax your neck here. Let your gaze drop down. If it feels good, to rock your head a little side to side, just to remind your neck to loosen up. And do that. Inhale, let's slowly begin to lift back up, but take your time. We'll help the legs back up towards one another, like you're closing a book. And then let's take the feet out wide. Move any blocks. We're going to take the hands behind, and we're going to take a little windshield wiper. Now, next time that the knees come over to the right, we're going to pause. And we're going to take the right hand, or left hand, over to that right knee, and we're just going to walk the left hand a little bit further back. And you can actually just take a little peek over that left, and by the left, I mean right shoulder. Sorry. So that right shoulder. So we're kind of like in a deer pose, kind of a twist here. And then we have the option to stay here, or if we're feeling pretty good and we want to take the left hand down to the ground, we can take the left hand down to the ground, see how that feels. So the left hand is now down on the ground as well. You can always adjust that right hip a little bit if you need to move it a little bit. And we're gazing down towards the ground. If it's feeling okay and you want to try walking your hands forwards, we can walk the hands forwards. We could come down to our forearms here. You could bring your forearms down to blocks also. You could come even lower. You might bring your forehead to a block if you like. We're going to soften in here over that right leg, relaxing your neck, softening your shoulders, and letting go. Not holding on to any tension here. And then let's slowly begin to lift back up onto the palms. And once we're on our palms, let's just pause. And then we're going to slowly begin to walk the hands around as we rotate ourselves around. We'll take the knees over to the left. So we're going to let both knees drop over to the left. And this time the right hand can cross over to that left leg. The left hand can go a little bit further back. And we're just going to gaze down, relax the neck. See how this feels. And then right hand can come down to the mat. If that's feeling good, then we can walk the hands forwards. We can soften down. Second side's always a little more familiar. Just ease yourself in. Again, note though, sides may feel different. You may have different abilities, different sides, and that's okay. You just let it be what it is. Just working to find the best in the moment. And then let's just slowly begin to lift back up onto the palms. And then from here, we'll just slowly begin to unwind the twist. We're going to bring the knees forwards again, adjust our hips. And then here, just walk your feet in. And let's just wrap the arms around the legs and just give yourself a hug. Relax your neck here. Soften your shoulders. And then we're going to lift back up, lifting the torso. From here, we can come off of our blanket if we're on a blanket. And let's start with the feet together here. Heels just spread slightly so we have this 90-degree bend in the legs. We're going to take the hands behind the legs and then find a nice long spine. And then keeping all that length, we're just unhinging at this angle of the hips here, leaning back. And then as you're ready, maybe we lift the feet up. We could either keep the feet down or we lift the feet up a little bit. Maybe we bring shins parallel with the mat. And then just the option here to release the hands, or we continue to support behind the legs. So many different options. You're just going to do what feels right in the moment, kind of gazing forwards right towards our toes here, spine long. Find one more breath. Focus your gaze. And then let's take the feet down. We'll wrap the arms around the legs. One more nice big hug here. And then we're going to begin to make our way down to our backs. Just bring a block with you. Anything you like for Shavasana, just have it handy. And we'll come down onto our backs with the knees bent. And we're going to tuck the knees into the chest. So coming onto our backs for the first time here today in this practice, maybe we rock a little side to side. And just enjoy that feeling on your back. A little massage for the low back. And then let's come to stillness. We're going to set the feet down. And from here, we'll grab the block. We're going to take the block, low wide setting. We'll lift the hips up, scoot the block underneath. And we're going to pause in this supported bridge pose here. So the block right underneath the sacrum, in between kind of tailbone, low back. Should feel pretty comfortable. Let your feet settle. Let the backs of your arms settle. Back of your head. Take 2 breaths here. And then you can stay here if you like, or if we want to take a little legs up the wall, we can lift the feet up. We can straighten the legs out, reaching feet up towards the ceiling. And we can take movement here if that feels good. Maybe some circles of the ankles or pointing and flexing the ankles. Maybe leg movements. Just settle down into the support of the ground beneath your torso. Support of the block beneath the hips. Feel as your feet and your legs begin to grow a little lighter, perhaps a little cooler. And then let's just slowly begin to bend back into the knees, bring the feet back down. Take your time though. Let your feet land. And then we'll just press into the feet, lift the hips up enough just to scoot that block out of the way. Let your hips come back down. And then we're going to steady into both feet. Knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. We'll bring the arms down by the sides. And we're going to take an active bridge pose here. Just pressing into the palms of the feet, the backs of the arms. As you inhale, just slowly begin to curl your spine up off the mat, lifting the hips. And we'll pause. Think about a light squeeze of the inner thighs, firming the outer hips in, and then steadying down through all those points on the mat. The feet, the backs of the arms, the palms. And then let's just slowly begin to let the the spine travel back down, and then let the hips land. And then we'll let the knees roll in towards one another. If that feels good, our knees can stay pointing up. Now from here, we'll scoop the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then we're going to keep the right knee drawn in. We're just going to begin to extend the left leg out long, and we'll lower the left leg down. And just see how this feels for a moment. Letting that right knee draw in, letting that left leg land, feeling the whole back side of the body, softening your shoulder blades, back of the head down. And then from here, we're going to take that right knee in the left hand. We'll tee the right arm out to the side. We're going to slowly cross the right leg over the body and to the left, taking a twist, lifting that right hip up. Let your right shoulder soften down. You can always lightly rest that right foot on the left leg. You can always place a block somewhere under that right leg for support. Maybe we gaze over the right shoulder. Feel each breath. Let yourself soften with each exhale. Let's just very slowly begin to lift back up. Take your time, leveling out both hips. And then we can just begin to bend into the left knee. Draw that left knee back in. Give yourself a squeeze. And then we'll keep left knee drawn in. We're going to extend the right leg out long. Let that right leg land. Yep. And then just settling for a moment here. Letting the back side grow heavy. We'll take the left knee in the right hand. Tee the left arm out to the side. And we're going to slowly begin to cross over to the right here. The left hip will lift, rotating up. Left shoulder can soften down. And then you can either gaze up or to the left. We'll be here about 4 breaths. And let's just slowly begin to unwind. Take your time. And then once the hips are even down on the mat, you're going to draw the left knee in, draw the right knee in. Take your time, soften in. And then let's lower the feet down. And from here, we're going to take the right leg all the way over the left leg. So there's no space in between the legs. Think like eagle legs here, nice and tight. And we'll just pause for a moment. And then we're going to begin to lift both feet up. You can either clasp your hands to the knees, to the shins. If it feels good, you can reach hands down to the feet or ankles, anywhere from knees down to the ankles. And then we're just going to let the shoulders soften, back of the head. So we're not creating any tension there or lifting up in any way. You can always rock a little side to side if that feels good. And then let's just slowly begin to release our bind with our hands. We'll set the feet down. We'll uncross the legs, and then we're going to switch it out. We'll take the left leg all the way over the right. Give that a moment to land, feeling that shape in the legs, the tight wrap of the legs. And then we're just going to lift both feet up, tucking the knees in. Again, we can hold on wherever we can here without creating that tension where we kind of pull up head and chest away from the mat. Getting a good stretch into the outer hips here. And then let's just slowly begin to release the legs. Let the feet come back down. We'll uncross. And then we're going to lengthen one leg out. We'll lengthen the other leg out. Let both legs come down. And then we're going to sweep both arms up overhead. Take a nice big reach, creating length all the way up the sides of the body. And then from here, we're going to step both hands and both feet over to the right. We're going to create that side bend all along the left side, lengthening fingertips, feet towards the right. And if you want to intensify things, you can hook left ankle over the right. You can loop the right index finger and thumb around the left wrist. And then let's just begin to release the binds. We're going to come back through center, lengthen, and then we'll take it over to the left, just stepping hands and feet to that left side. And we might just land there. Or we hook the right ankle over the left. We loop the left fingers around the right wrist. And then let's begin to release. We'll come back through center. Take your time. Take one nice final stretch here, just really lengthening up. Maybe we even interlace the fingers, flip the palms towards the wall behind. And then we'll flip the palms down. We're going to slowly release the arms down by the sides. And from here, we are ready for Shavasana. So if there's any last moves you would like to take, if you want to add some layers, you can add them now. Maybe some socks, maybe a sweater, maybe a blanket. You can always place the blanket behind the head. You can place something behind your knees. And then set yourself up and let yourself go. No, you can always keep your knees bent. They don't have to be long if that doesn't feel good in your low back. And you can also rest on your side if that feels better. And the quote for today that I'd like to share is from Steve Leasock. This is: the transition back to a state of focusing on presence and conscious living first seems long, even unreachable. However, it is not difficult. On the contrary, it is quite simple. Just be, no attachment or thought. Just be. And just begin to bring your awareness back into the space, into your body. Maybe starting with some little wiggles, fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles. And just take any movement that feels good. Building your way up to larger movements. And eventually, as you're ready, making your way over onto the right-hand side and just back up into the fetal position, knees hugged in. Pause there. And then slowly begin to make your way up to a seat, but take your time. Maybe you keep your eyes closed and just sense your way into your seat. Finding a tall spine, flexing shoulders. And then here, maybe we just bring the palms to touch and let's just rub the palms together. Just create a little extra warmth. And then from here, let's just come to stillness and we'll rest the palms back down on the lap and just feel that warmth there. And then next inhale, we'll sweep the arms around and up. And from here, we'll let the palms meet. Exhale, lower the hands down through heart center. Now we're just going to connect right to the heart. Pausing here. And if you would like to join me in the sacred sound of Om, that is always just an option. It's a lovely vibrational sound that you feel and experience. If you'd like to join in, we're going to inhale together here. Om. And then just with your next inhale, lifting your chest. To exhale, bowing forward. Thank you all for sharing in this practice with me. Namaste.